Hey guys, Aaron CybertronVGC here, and today I'm back with another episode of Road to Ranked, where I climb the online regulation VGC ladder in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and provide live commentary as I go. In this video, I'm going to be featuring a really fun team built by 2017 World Champion Ryota Otsubo featuring Snorlax as well as Scyther. This is a really unique Snorlax set. It's Custap Berry with Rock Slide, Belly Drum, Body Slam, and Protect. The idea is that Snorlax can set up Belly Drum on turn 1 of the game when you have support from Follow Me Indeedee, and then immediately get a very fast Custap Berry activated attack while Indeedee helps set up Trick Room. Then Snorlax can sweep under Trick Room. Scyther is also in a really unique spot in the format because it actually outpaces a lot of really common Pokemon, and Technician Dual Wingbeat just does so much damage. You also have unique coverage with Close Combat and U-Turn, and so it's a fast Pokemon that can U-Turn out while also pressuring with one-hit knockouts immediately, especially when you have Helping Hand pressure from Indeedee. As always, I'll do a quick breakdown of the team, but if you want to just skip to the battles, check out the timestamps down below, and thanks so much as always for joining me. If you enjoy, I'd really appreciate if you consider leaving a like in the video or subscribing to the channel. That really helps out a ton. Anyway, let's get started. If you're interested in trying out the team, the rental code is on the screen, and there's also an accompanying Pokepaste down in the description below. This team utilizes some really unique attackers like the Custap Berry Belly Drum Snorlax as well as Eviolite Technician Scyther to catch your opponents off guard. Belly Drum Snorlax with that Custap Berry can pick up some very quick knockouts, and you can also set up Trick Room using Indeedee and Farigiraf. The Hisuian Lilligant and Torkoal here also allows for a faster combination where you can lead Lilligant Torkoal and just apply a lot of offensive pressure immediately, and one of the go-to modes with this team is Indeedee plus Snorlax as a lead with Torkoal plus a fourth. The idea is you'll get the Belly Drum up with Snorlax, set up Trick Room with Indeedee, and then try to sweep with Snorlax and Torkoal under Trick Room. Scyther is a unique attacker, really powerful when boosted by Helping Hand from Indeedee, and can also U-turn out to pivot into your Trick Room Pokemon. So you can lead something like Scyther Indeedee or Farigiraf Scyther, set up Trick Room while you U-turn out, bring out Torkoal, and then start doing massive amounts of damage. Breaking down the individual Pokemon, the first one to highlight is Snorlax. By the way, question of the day, with us having Snorlax and Scyther on the team, I want to know what you think is the best design Gen 1 Pokemon down in the comments section below. Snorlax has not really seen a lot of play in this format and in Scarlet and Violet VGC in general, despite being very good in other formats, and so it's cool to see it make a return here. I still haven't really seen many people use this Pokemon, and certainly not this set in Regulation H. You've got Belly Drum here with Body Slam and Rock Slide for damage, Protect, and you've got Custap Berry plus Gluttony. Custap Berry normally activates when you're at a quarter of your HP or less, but thanks to Gluttony, it actually activates when you're at 50% or less, and that synergizes perfectly with Belly Drum because once you Belly Drum, in the subsequent turn, you'll be able to just go for the Custap Berry boosted attack. This allows you to move first in your priority bracket, which is awesome, right? Snorlax is obviously a really slow Pokemon, so with this, you get to +6 attack, and then you can immediately just knock things out before other Pokemon can even move. You've got Rock Terra Rock Slide, which just does a lot of damage and obviously gives you a really nice spread move, and Body Slam for consistent damage as well. This Snorlax pairs really nicely with Indeedee because Indeedee can set up Psychic Terrain for it, blocking priority moves like Fake Out as well as Prankster Taunt. You also have Follow Me, which allows you to redirect powerful attacks away from the Snorlax, and of course you've got that Trick Room. So one of the common ways to play with this combo is lead Indeedee plus Snorlax, go for Follow Me into Belly Drum on turn 1, then on turn 2, Custap Berry Gluttony activates. You can try to pick up a knockout or even 2 knockouts maybe with Rock Slide, and then Indeedee can set up Trick Room. Once that Trick Room is set up, Snorlax then of course becomes really fast under Trick Room, and you can try to sweep your opponent under Trick Room. One thing that works really well for this combo is that normally when you're using dedicated Trick Room strategies, you have to knock out so many Pokemon while Trick Room is up, right? And you're normally not doing a ton of damage before the Trick Room is set up, but with this strategy, Snorlax can often pick up 1, maybe even 2 knockouts before the Trick Room is set up, and so in that case, then it's a lot easier to just sweep your opponent with Snorlax and Torkoal under Trick Room. Indeedee on this team, really straightforward, basically near max HP, max defense, and you've got Rocky Helmet here. Rocky Helmet, an item that people have been using a little bit more, helps out against a lot of physical attackers, especially something like Sneasler, Focus Sash Pokemon, right? As well as just being able to chip away at things. And with the Rocky Helmet, you're able to just basically disrupt and get some free damage off across the board, which is really nice. The Indeedee here also has that Helping Hand, which synergizes really nicely with Snorlax because you often want to go for the Rock Terra and just Helping Hand Rock Terra Rock Slide, which can even KO things that resist it, which is wild to think about once you've set up the Belly Drum. Torkoal is going to be your other main attacker under Trick Room, and this is a really straightforward set with Weather Ball, Eruption, Clear Smog, as well as Protect. Clear Smog mainly designed for Dondozo on this team. Otherwise, the Dondozo matchup is really, really scary, so this just gives you a much better time into Dozo. You've also got Hisu and Lilligant to pair with the Torkoal, so this means that you don't always have to commit to a slow mode with the team. You, of course, can just lead Lilligant Torkoal and deal a lot of damage. Very straightforward Lilligant here. The main thing to note is that you've got Leaf Blade rather than Solar Blade. A lot of Lilligants recently have been using this because weather is everywhere in this format, and you don't want to really rely on sun being up just to get your powerful grass type attacks off. So while Leaf Blade is a little bit weaker, it's just more consistent in terms of guaranteed damage, and it also means that you can even bring Lilligant without Torkoal. Lilligant's actually pretty fast with that base 105 speed, so there are cases where you can go with Lilligant once Indeedee faints, for example, bring out Lilligant and go for after you, and just immediately let Snorlax attack right afterwards. Lilligant Torkoal, though, also obviously a really oppressive lead, and there are a lot of teams that are still just not adequately prepared for it. The final two mons are Farigiraf and Scyther. Scyther is really cool, also a Pokemon that has been very underplayed in general. We actually saw it on official stream, but it's not a Pokemon that's had a huge impact on the format. But it's unique because it's base 105 speed, and Dual Wingbeat is a really good move in the format right now. Sneasler with Focus Sash is everywhere, and you've got a lot of other things that like to run Focus Sash, like Indeedee Male as well. Scyther is base 105 speed, so you outpace all those things that you'll see in the base 80 to just over 100 range, right? Pokemon like Garchomp, for example, as well as even max speed Archaludon, Annihilate as well, and Indeedee Male. And being able to just threaten all of those with damage is really nice before they move. And when you combine Helping Hand with Technician, Helping Hand Technician boosted Dual Wingbeat is actually so powerful. And so this is going to be one of the main combos you can go for to just pick up knockouts with this team. Close combat's really nice. Steel type Pokemon can be annoying for this team, so you want more coverage into it, and that's why you've got Scyther, Lilligant, and Torkoal, and Steel Pokemon are just annoying for Snorlax to deal with. And then U-Turn allows you to pivot out, so you can lead a Trick Room user like Farigiraf Scyther, Indeedee Scyther, U-Turn into Trick Room, and then bring out Torkoal under Trick Room. You've got Farigiraf as the final one here, and this Farigiraf is a defensive set, but you've got Expanding Force, Fighting Terra Blast, Trick Room, and Wish. Fighting Terra Blast is fairly unique on this Pokemon, but you can use it really to mess up those Dark-type Pokemon like Incineroar as well as King Gambit, and Expanding Force is a move that people actually don't often expect on Farigiraf. Normally they'll think something like Psychic or Psyshock, for example, but since you've got Indeedee on this team, you can take advantage of that terrain. Wish is also really unique. It's not a move I've seen anyone really use on Farigiraf before. In all the games I played with this team, I don't think I've actually really clicked Wish very much, but it just allows you to get some surprise recovery, which can be really valuable. I often like having Farigiraf in the back after Indeedee and Snorlax to give me a second option to set up Trick Room, while also using it for Armor Tail to block, for example, Fake Out onto Snorlax. Opposing Rillaboom, for example, can be annoying, where if they knock out your Indeedee, Rillaboom comes out, then it can disrupt with Fake Out and Grassy Glide, and if you Rock Terra with Snorlax, obviously you're going to be really weak to Rillaboom, and so Farigiraf being able to block the priority once you've set up that Trick Room, and just be able to block priority and switch it at any point is super valuable. In terms of main modes with this team, Indeedee Snorlax I think is one of the go-to leads with Torkoal in the back, and then you can really fill out any of the remaining options as the fourth. Farigiraf really valuable if they have a lot of Fake Out and priority spam, especially if they have ways to change that terrain like Rillaboom. Obviously, if they don't have opposing terrain, then you don't have to bring Farigiraf to block the priority as much because Indeedee Psychic terrain will already be activated. Farigiraf also enables you to have a second Trick Room user. This is generally the slow core of the team. You can also go with Lilligant and Scyther if you want to deal something, have some fast damage. And sometimes I like going with these because I don't necessarily always set up Trick Room on turn 2 with Indeedee or turn 1 with Indeedee. Sometimes Indeedee will feign, Snorlax will get set up, but then Scyther will be able to come out, Lilligant will be able to come out and then just threaten with the fast attack, while Snorlax still has enough HP to get another powerful move off and doesn't necessarily have to move first. So you can commit to Scyther or Lilligant as the fourth option in those cases. You can also lead Lilligant Torkoal, for example, just to have a lot of offensive pressure immediately. You can lead Indeedee Farigiraf to have Expanding Force into Trick Room pressure immediately. This is really good, especially if they don't have opposing terrain control and they don't have too many things that can take Expanding Force well. So those are all lead combos for you to consider. In terms of weaknesses, there are a couple things that I want to point out first for this Snorlax. You want to set up Belly Drum a lot of the time, so if you're able to just do enough damage where Snorlax can actually set up that Belly Drum, that's a really big deal. Snorlax is normally going to be paired with the Indeedee as the lead option, and so obviously Indeedee is really good in redirecting moves away, but if you have spread attacks, that can be really scary. Examples include Steel Terra, Choice Specs Make It Rain from Golden Go, as well as Expanding Force from Indeedee, for example. And so powerful spread moves can really stop the Snorlax from just setting up. Also, you have to be careful because with this Snorlax, you're going to be pretty weak to Steel-type Pokemon because they just resist both your Rock Slide as well as your Body Slam. So a well-played Archaludon, a well-played King Gambit, for example, can be spooky, and Ghost Pokemon also can be annoying because you just can't hit them with Body Slam. Also, Rock Slide is 90% accurate, so when you click it onto both of your opponent's Pokemon, it's an 81% chance to connect on both. So you will miss Rock Slide a fair bit, and that can be really scary because I've had games where it's like Rock Slide, if it connects, it just knocks something out, but if it misses, I don't do any damage, and then they knock me out in return. Wide Guard obviously can be annoying for this as well. So those are all a couple things to watch out for with the Snorlax set in particular. With this team having Trick Room, obviously a ways to stop the Trick Room like Manual Taunt, as well as Imprison Trick Room, as well as Pokemon just reversing Trick Room can all be fairly annoying as well. Taunt in particular is something that can be spooky because if you go Indeedee Snorlax, for example, and you get taunted immediately, then Indeedee can only really Psychic or switch out the next turn, and that could be tough. Snorlax, of course, also with that Custap Berry, it's something that your opponents, if they have knowledge of this team, can take advantage of, saying, you know what, your Custap Berry basically has to activate after your Belly Drum, and so I will basically protect one Pokemon and then maybe sacrifice one of my Pokemon. Focus Sash in particular is also an annoying Pokemon for Snorlax to deal with because with Custap Berry activating, you really want to get a one-hit knockout. If your opponent has a good defensive Terra or Focus Sash and survives the turn and Snorlax then is KO'd in return, that's often not going to be a great trade. And then for Torkoal Lilligant, opposing weather obviously can be fairly annoying, especially Pelipper, and you want to just be careful in terms of how you position these. A Torkoal outside of the sun is just not as powerful, and a Torkoal in rain, for example, is even weaker. So those are all some things that I wanted to point out. We've got Magmar, Annihilate, Ursaluna, Dragonite, Rillaboom, and Basculegion. It's probably Scarf Adaptability Basculegion. It's been quite a common set recently. They have some terrain control with the Rillaboom. Magmar might have Taunt. It's important to note that Snorlax, even with Belly Drum, might not necessarily get like the big one-hit knockouts we want immediately, so we gotta be a little bit careful about that. I'm leaning towards the Indeedee Snorlax lead here. Scyther in the back. And then Torkoal probably as the last one. Yeah. I think there's merit for Farigiraf here for priority blocking, mainly from Rillaboom Fake Out as well as Dragonite. But I don't think Extreme Speed from Dragonite's that scary here. It's normally going to be like Loaded Dice Scale Shot. With Indeedee Snorlax, I can consider something like Psychic Belly Drum turn 1 if they lead Dragonite to break Multiscale and then just Rock Terra, Rock Slide. Scyther is also interesting offensively into a lot of their team. Ursaluna, Annihilate, Rillaboom. Magmar is the main thing I'm thinking about because it can Will-O-Wisp and Taunt. It is going to be Ursaluna Magmar, okay. This is interesting. I'm leaning towards Follow Me. Terra this so that your normal type attacks do less damage. And Belly Drum. It's a question of whether or not they taunt me on turn 1. Because I could also hard switch into Scyther. Yeah, honestly, I want to make this play. Hard switch into Scyther. Terra. Belly Drum. Because basically with Magmar being led here, I think they might just go Taunt into the Indeedee slot. So the idea is I get Belly Drum off, and then the next turn, they'll probably want to just go for like Follow Me, right? But then the Snorlax will attack first with Rock Slide, and then I can Rock Slide Close Combat to try to get a double knockout. This is a little bit risky because they could Will-O-Wisp or Earth Power into the Snorlax slot, but then you would not be respecting Trick Room at all. Oh, they actually just overheat into the Indeedee slot. Okay, well, we end up surviving that. That was not the plan, though. Okay, they just really wanted to snipe off Indeedee, which makes sense. I'm fine with this outcome, though, because it means that I get my Belly Drum off. And I don't take any damage with Indeedee, so now I can... Them going for overheat makes me think they just don't have Taunt, right? So now I can bring out the Indeedee. And I can Trick Room, which is what I'm leaning towards here. Trick Room Body Slam is the play I want to make. I could also Trick Room Rock Slide, but then they can Earth Power me. They're not Life Orb on Ursaluna. It's probably Assault Vest, honestly. So I'm down to Trick Room Body Slam here. Nice. Magmar protects. Okay. Snorlax gets Body Slam off with the Custap, and we get Trick Room up. That is the dream right now. Okay, beautiful. Yeah, the main thing is, like, the fear of Magmar running Taunt, but I don't know if I really need to be that scared of it, because normally it's going to be running the Overheat / Heat Wave Will-O-Wisp set, right? So Rillaboom comes in. Okay, it's fine. To get around this, I can pivot the Indeedee out into Torkoal now and protect with the Snorlax. Yeah. I think this is where if I had Farigiraf, it would be a really free Torkoal into Farigiraf, or Indeedee into Farigiraf, switch it, and then just Body Slam into the Rillaboom slot. But I thought Torkoal's offense under Trick Room was really powerful here, so wanted to bring that. Oh, and they actually stay in with Magmar, which I'm surprised by, but I'll gladly take. Okay. And they go for Follow Me. I wonder if it's U-turn here. Follow Me U-turn would be a nice play. Oh, it's actually Woodhammer into the Indeedee slot. Okay, fine by me. I can now just switch the Torkoal out into Indeedee and Rock Slide. I'm going to Rock Slide here just because Ghost Terra is a thing on Magmar. Don't want to fall to that. So by switching in Indeedee, we turn off the grassy terrain, so you no longer have priority with Grassy Glide. And if they click Grassy Glide rather than Woodhammer, they also might not even KO the Snorlax, even if we miss Rock Slide or don't KO them. Okay, but Rilla ends up pivoting out, which makes sense. Into Dragonite. Yeah, Rock Slide is just so strong from this point onwards. And Magmar protects, but Dragonite probably just faints here, right? Rock Slide comes out. We actually miss. Oh, okay. 2 turns of Trick Room left. It's fine. Like, missing is unfortunate. The main thing is that Dragonite does actually carry Haze. And they haven't Terra'd either. I want to switch in Torkoal right now. And Rock Slide. So I get terrain control. The downside with using this team is Rock Slide obviously can miss at any given point, and that was a big miss, but it's fine. Okay, Dragonite just protects, which is honestly okay with me, because now if Rock Slide connects on Magmar, then I just bring the Indeedee in, and then I just get rid of terrain once again, which is why I wanted to switch in Torkoal this turn, because I figured, you know, Rock Slide here should get the knockouts I need anyway. I don't need, like, helping hand support. So Magmar faints. Yep, Rillaboom comes back out. They haven't Terra'd, and since I don't know the item on Ursaluna, like that's the thing I'm still curious about. I don't know if this is Assault Vest Rillaboom, but I'm happy to just switch back out into Indeedee once more and just click Rock Slide again. It's just scary because I would prefer to be clicking Body Slam right now, but I don't want to Body Slam into like Terra Steel Dragonite. Don't want to Body Slam into a Rillaboom Protect since Ursaluna didn't have the Life Orb. It could have been Assault Vest on the Ursaluna, and that would mean Rillaboom could potentially have Protect. So, like, Rock Slide here, it is just a little bit scarier to click, but it covers for, like, all the random different things they could be on their side, right? So, we'll bring in Indeedee for terrain control once more. Terra finally comes out, yep. I'd expect it on Dragonite, personally, like Terra Steel. Nope, it's going to be Terra Fairy. Okay, it's probably Terra Fairy multi-skill, which is fine. We're not going to knock it out now, though, unfortunately. But Rillaboom doesn't protect, so we get the Rock Terra +6 Rock Slide off. Perfect. That knocks out Rillaboom and does like 65% to Dragonite. Beautiful. They'll probably scale shot here. Nope, they just go for haze. Okay, works for me. Yeah, it's interesting because I do think Farigiraf over Torkoal may have actually been better for me in the end because I kept swapping Indeedee out just to like get around their fake out stuff. But the key turn in this game was knocking out Ursaluna with the Custap strategy. So now we can just go for Trick Room and Body Slam. Yeah, and they're going to skill shot into us, but I think Body Slam just gets the knockout, and I don't think this KOs us either unless you get a crit along the way. 3 hits, yep. 4. Cool. Scyther was a necessary sacrifice in this game. And it made sense for my opponent to make that double up because they, yeah, just really didn't want Trick Room getting set up on turn 1. Like, it's a little bit risky to have Belly Drum the way I did because they could have Will-O-Wisp, but I didn't think they would ever click Will-O-Wisp when Indeedee could just go for Follow Me on turn 1 and it threatens Trick Room. And then with the Ursaluna, I didn't think they would just Earth Power into Snorlax when you have, like, normal Terra, Hyper Voice, or Blood Moon available to you. And so it was a calculated risk. I was expecting, like, or I wanted to cover for Tauntaun Magmar, but just because I think if we got taunted and I went for the Belly Drum setup, turn 2 would actually be in really bad shape because I committed my Terra, so then you can just, like, pressure me with Earth Power, and then the Indeedee slot is really useless. And so the idea initially is, hey, if you have Taunt and you go for it, then Scyther plus Snorlax applies so much pressure next turn. But getting the free switch and back into Indeedee and having them commit their overheat so that they're at -2 and Ursula not being able to Blood Moon already put us in good shape. And then, of course, we had the surprise of the Custap Berry, which I'm sure my opponent wasn't anticipating. So using that to just be able to get a free knockout while also setting up Trick Room is the absolute dream for this team. We've got a Dozo team here with Gallade. Okay. Dozo, Tatsu, Dragonite, Gallade, Sneasler, Indeedee. Clear Smog Torkoal is a must bring. Scyther is really interesting into Gallade, Sneasler, and Indeedee. Snorlax is going to be basically useless into Unaware Dozo. Yeah, I don't know if this is the best matchup for Snorlax because they have so many fighting types as well. And probably Sash on Indeedee. So if I'm not bringing that, then what do I do? Indeedee, Scyther, Torkoal, Lilligant. Farigiraf has Expanding Force. We have Wish, Fighting Terra. It's just not going to do that much damage. Yeah, I'm down for this. I think just against Dozo alone, Snorlax is already a tough bring, and I don't think Snorlax is super good here because they have Expanding Force from Indeedee Mail, they have Sneasler with Close Combat Pressure, as well as Gallade with Sacred Sword and Wide Guard, and you resist Rock Slide with Sneasler and Gallade. And I think it just kind of takes too much setup. Lilligant here gives me a much better answer into the Dondozo, because I can pressure it with Sleep Powder and damage, and then if you, like, Terra, normally it's going to be Terra Grass or Terra Steel, and then Torkoal can just go for Weather Ball or Eruption. But it is important to note that a lot of Dondozos in this meta are now Steel Terra, specifically to get around Clear Smog from namely Amoonguss, but also Torkoal. So that's something we have to be very careful about. But yeah, I feel a little sad I can't bring Snorlax into this one. It's going to be Indeedee plus Sneasler. Okay. So this is interesting because I honestly, if I were them, would probably go for Dark Terra immediately with the Sneasler. We have Dual Wingbeat pressure right now. I'm actually interested in Helping Hand you and just Dual Wingbeat into Indeedee. The logic behind this is I'm actually more scared of the Indeedee than the Sneasler right now, since I think Sneasler is not threatening the Scyther with the one-hit knockout. I also think Sneasler might feel compelled to Terra here, since you're worried about both Psychic as well as Dual Wingbeat from our end. It could also see it protecting, honestly. There's Helping Hand. Nice. Okay. Good start. We don't miss Dual Wingbeat, which is absolutely huge, and look how much damage that does. We just eliminate Indeedee immediately to start the game. Helping Hand Dual Wingbeat is no joke. Like, this is such a powerful attack thanks to the Technician as well as the additional damage output from Helping Hand. So, yeah, that worked out even better because I thought Scyther, or I thought they were going to maybe potentially consider tearing the Sneasler there on turn 1. Dozo comes out. My bet is that they just switch into Tatsu right now. Switch into Tatsu. I want a Trick Room then. Trick Room U-turn is what I'm thinking. They could just stay in here, honestly, but I'd be really shocked. Seems like such an easy angle to switch in right now if you're my opponent. I'm still gonna Dual Wingbeat into it. Yeah, they stay in. Okay. And they're gonna Terra here. Interesting. Terra Sneasler. Dark. Yep. Well, that means you can't Terra the Dondozo now, which is absolutely huge. Yep, they go for the Dark Terra Throat Chop into Indeedee. Does not knock us out. Dual Wingbeat doesn't miss. Does that just get the KO for us? That would be so nice. Oh, Scyther has been so good in this game. No Terra now on their end, and Torkoal plus the Lilligant is the perfect 2 for us to have in the back in this end game, in my opinion. And they Wave Crash into the Scyther, so now this means that Torkoal will be able to just clear Smog their Dondozo immediately. And I don't have to worry about Steel Terra. Wow. Okay, nice. You've got leftovers. Fine by me. This is just a Torkoal waiting room now. And then once we clear Smog, we can use the Lilligant to just crush the Dondozo. So this game has so far gone basically perfectly. So let's close it out. I think this game really demonstrated how good Scyther can be, though, especially with Indeedee helping hand support. Like, this thing's damage output is actually really sick. I think in this spot, I'm happy to go for Follow Me. Oh, I don't think I want a U-turn here, actually, right? I want a Dual Wingbeat instead. And the reason you don't want a U-turn is I don't want to end up U-turning, and then bringing out Torkoal, and then Torkoal just takes, like, unnecessary damage. Yeah, so there's the Dual Wingbeat. Okay, you just go for Order Up, which is fine by me. Indeedee faints, and now we get Torkoal in, and we've got Clear Smog. You can see, right, like, Snorlax just would not have contributed anything in this battle into my opponent's team, so that's exactly why I didn't want to bring it. So we get Torkoal out now. Torkoal plus Logan should be the perfect closer for us. So I'm just going to click Clear Smog into you. I could U-turn. But I think I'm happy just staying in and clicking Dual Wingbeat. Yeah, they protect this turn. But we'll be able to guarantee get rid of their boost, which is huge. I'm really glad I ultimately did end up attacking into Sneasler there. Like, I think the Tatsugiri switching was so obvious, but as a result, it made sense for my opponent to go for that play, right? Because they're probably thinking, you're just going to target Dozo. The reality is the Scyther didn't have very much damage into the Dondozo slot anyway, so I'm not really pressuring Dozo anyway. I figured if you do end up staying in, it just puts me in such an advantageous position. 2 turns of Trick Room, 4 turns of Sunlight, so we'll Clear Smog you once again, and Dual Wingbeat you once again. And once we get rid of these boosts, Lilligant can obviously just come in. But there's the Clear Smog, one of the most satisfying feelings you can have in this format. Of course, it does make Dondozo faster than us now under Trick Room. Wave Crash actually still does a hefty amount there because it crits us. Okay, that's fine though. Now I'll get Dual Wingbeat into you. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. Nice. I think the main thing we want to respect is Leftover, or no, sorry, Choice Scarf on Tatsu. Last turn of Trick Room here. Let's actually think about the ordering here, because Dondozo will attack first. How many turns of Sunlight do I have? I still have 3 turns to work with. I think I can just Fire Terra Weather Ball here. Dual Wingbeat. Dondozo probably protects, but if it doesn't, like, we just win the game on the spot. And even if they protect, then Trick Room expires, and then I have Scyther, which is just faster than you outside of Trick Room, with the Focus Sash Lilligant still waiting in the back. Yep, and they don't protect. Nice. So, Charcoal, Sun, Fire Terra boosted against non-boosted Dondozo. Yep, that gets the KO. This was Scyther putting on a clinic, though. Like, it one-shot Indeedee, basically one-shot Sneasler. Dual Wingbeat now. Doesn't miss until a Tatsugiri. If you ever needed a highlight reel to showcase why Scyther is viable in VGC Regulation H, show someone this battle in particular, because I don't think I could have had a better game with this Pokemon. And I'm really glad, because I think when I first saw this team, I was like, oh, this is basically a Snorlax team, but Scyther is really good into a lot of meta Pokemon. Like, strong flying type damage is just not very common, and Dual Wingbeat in particular is so nice in order to handle Focus Sash Pokemon, especially Pokemon that are often weak to flying, like Sneasler and Whimsicott, and man, was it just strong in this one, right? Like, being able to knock out that Indeedee with that Helping Hand support. I don't even know if we needed Helping Hand ultimately, honestly, but the idea is being able to pressure that Indeedee for a KO was absolutely huge, because Indeedee is normally going to run Focus Sash in that position, right? So being able to knock Pokemon out through Focus Sash is so valuable when you use this move. But yeah, it was even better than I expected it to be. I mean, it literally knocked out 3 of my opponent's 4 Pokemon and did about 50% to the Dondozo as well. So shoutouts to Scyther. Got Salamence, Archaludon, Pelipper, Basculegion, Overqwil, and Rillaboom here. So very rain-centric team. Torkoal's a must. Scyther's damage is actually pretty interesting here, but I might get intimidated by Salamence. Is this a matchup for Farigiraf? Probably not. Lilligant is interesting here. I feel like we should be considering it, but I don't know if I actually love it. What do I see them leading? Could be Salamence, Pelly, Salamence, Basculegion, Salamence, Archaludon, Archaludon, Basculegion. I also wonder if it's Bullet Seed Rillaboom with loaded dice that just won a regional championship. I'm leaning towards Indeedee Lax Torkoal. I'm thinking like maybe Farigiraf here and just commit a little bit harder to Trick Room. Farigiraf also protects us from priority, which is good. But Scyther is intriguing to me with Dual Wingbeat. If they didn't have Salamence, I would be leading Indeedee Scyther, I think. I'm gonna go Farigiraf here. And the main logic behind Farigiraf is I do think I want to commit harder to Trick Room in this game. And the Farigiraf also helps out a ton against Rillaboom. Like, you know, if I lose Indeedee on turn 1, I get the Belly Drum off. I can switch in Farigiraf afterwards and then try to set up Trick Room, while also blocking priority from, like, Grassy Glide Rillaboom, for example. Salamence or Archaludon. Okay. I think the main debate here is, do I want to follow me Trick Room? I could protect Trick Room. Sorry, not follow me Trick Room. Follow me Belly Drum. I am leaning towards follow me Belly Drum, honestly. Follow me Belly Drum up. What's the alternative? Protect Trick Room, but then I'm just under Trick Room for a turn. Yeah, I like Follow Me Belly Drum here to start. And if we sacrifice Indeedee, then I get the free switch into Farigiraf. They just Draco, which is fine. Yep, we survived that. Salamence will probably want to switch out this next turn. I don't even know if this KOs me. Okay, it does. It crits. I actually think we survived that without the crit, but it's okay. Indeedee faints. And this is what I was saying, right? Like, this is why I wanted to bring Farigiraf into this matchup, because now I can just pressure with Trick Room with that. Okay. So if I'm them, I'm probably switching Salamence out. Switch Salamence out. I don't mind clicking Trick Room right now with this. Trick Room Body Slam is what I'm leaning towards. They could switch into Basket Legion, I guess. I just don't love the idea of giving our Archaladon a defense boost. I really wonder if that crit mattered. I think it may have. Trick Room. Okay, I'm gonna Trick Room Rock Slide here. They stay in with Salamence, okay. Oh no, the berry activates before. I wasn't sure about that mechanic. It is Pelly coming out. Okay, makes sense. The upside of Rock Slide here is it gives me a flinch chance onto the Archaladon. Ooh, and it is not Focus Sash Pelipper, so we gain weather control now, which is huge. Okay. Let's see if Archaladon flinches. Flinch would be very nice. Nope, no flinch. Body press into us, and they are going to get the knockout. However, because I knocked out the Pelipper, this actually isn't terrible, because now I have Torkoal plus Farigiraf under Trick Room, with 4 turns of Trick Room to work with. Curious they have Rillaboom, because if not, Expanding Force exists here on Farigiraf. Salamence just comes back out, yep. Okay. I mean, with this, I can just Fire Terra, Eruption, Expanding Force, right? It's not really much to stop that. This is the difference between Pelipper having a Sash and not a Sash, though, because if Pelly had Sash, which is the most common item on it, I think I'd be in a very tough spot right now, since Body Press did knock out Snorlax. I also wasn't sure if +1 Body Press was KOing us there, but this shouldn't be super surprising. I wonder the difference between, like, neutral Body Press versus +1. But yeah, I think I'm just going to Expanding Force now. Fire Terra, Eruption. And the great thing here is even if they did bring Rillaboom, it's completely useless into us. Other than, I guess, Fire Terra, high horsepower. So, yeah. I wanted to show off how Farigiraf fits into this team. And I think this was a really great game for it. But, yeah, I'm super curious how many defense EVs my opponent has on Archaladon. Because Archaladon on these teams can run so many different EV spreads. Like, you can invest in HP, special attack, speed, special defense, really everything. They're not going to Terra, Protect, or switch either Pokemon, so I think this is probably just a double knockout. Let's see. Yeah. Beautiful. I think, like, when you look at this team, obviously, like, Snorlax is the main star, and it does very much come out in a ton of matchups, but don't forget that, like, Torkoal is really, really good under Trick Room with Fire Terra, right? In the Rain matchup, it's really scary because of Pelipper, but I mainly first wanted to bring Torkoal to counter the Rain, and here it works out even better because Pelipper just wasn't Focus Sash. If it wasn't Sash, it's probably Covert Cloak or Choice Scarf, and it is Rillaboom as the last one. This is exactly why I wanted to bring Farigiraf. With this, like, you just really can't do anything. You override the terrain at least, but I can just go for single target Expanding Force into the Eruption here, and even with the defensive Terra, like Fire Terra here, it's still fine. If my opponent had actually switched in the Rillaboom instead of the Pelipper in this game, I think they also probably would have just won, because then I would have had Torkoal in the Rain, which is just so much less effective. So, yeah, the game was a little bit scary because I lost a Pokemon immediately, and by losing a Pokemon, like, one thing that's huge in the Rain versus Sun matchup is who is able to end the game with their weather, right? So when you go down Pokemon earlier, it's scarier because it's just harder for you to conserve enough Pokemon to, like, actually keep switching in and out for your weather. And so, yeah, if this game can show you the difference a single item or switch could make, right? Because if it were Rillaboom coming out instead of Pelipper, or Pelipper had Focus Sash, then I probably just lose this game, honestly, after turn 2. I think the other question then to ask is whether or not Rock Slide was the right play, rather than just Body Slamming. I just, like, really didn't want to Body Slam into a Basket Legion switch in and just, like, get no momentum off. But since we did get knocked out by the Body Press, like, I was also thinking, you know, I don't know the calc here off the top of my head. Rock Slide has the chance to flinch the Archaladon as well, and it would get a knockout onto Salamence, and if they switch out, probably knock out whatever's coming in as well. And so, yeah, I think, like, that's the other main, you know, debate. But one of the scary things for this team to go up against is Steel-type Pokemon, right? Archaladon can Gambit. It's a little bit tough because they resist, obviously, Body Slam as well as Rock Slide, so you're not threatening those with the one-hit knockouts, and they can threaten you with a lot of damage in return. Ooh, there's a Komodo here with Volcarona, Ninetales, Rilla, Ursaluna, and Dusclops. Really intrigued by Komodo. Cool to see Dusclops Ursaluna. I actually just featured that on the Halloween special. If you want to see me play with the fun Weakness Policy Ursaluna team, check out the video down below. I think we can get away with Indeedee, Snorlax, Torkoal here. For the last one, Scyther's damage is good, no? Dual Wingbeat into Volcarilla, Cornwall, Close Combat into Ursaluna. Don't think we need Farigiraf, and I don't love Lilligant either. This could be a very good Snorlax game. You know, like into Rilla, Ninetales, Volk, Dusclops, Rock Terra, Rock Slide with Belly Drum is very powerful. Farigiraf. I think the interesting thing about Farigiraf here is size spam is actually not terrible, like expanding force into their comp, and a lot of people don't even expect it on Farigiraf. Lilligant I don't love because it could be Grass Terra, it could be Overcoat. For example, Grass Terra Volk, Overcoat Komo. But I think Torkoal and Snorlax under Trick Room look like beasts, so let's see if we can get them going. The play turn will probably be just Follow Me Belly Drum, and then like Rock Terra, Rock Slide into Trick Room. Dusclops is a little bit spooky because we can't Body Slam it. And they're going to go Dusclops Rilla, interesting. Okay. Haze Dusclops is my other concern. But we win the Terrain War here, which is great. So with this, I lean towards just going for Follow Me and Trick Room. Sorry, Follow Me and Belly Drum. Given that they did bring Rilla, though, Farig in the back may have been a better choice. If I had Farig, I'd be able to just disrupt Rillaboom after turn 1. Because it's probably going to want to switch out here. I would personally love seeing them just go for like a Wood Hammer. Yeah, it's going to be a U-turn. Okay, so eat up Rocky Helmet damage. Let's see who they bring out. Como would make sense, but you'd probably be worried about taking a Psychic onto that slot. Ursaluna, maybe? Yeah. Okay. So we Belly Drum now. And they do Trick Room. But it's fine. Like, what do you do from here, right? I could go Rock Terra or Rock Slide. Got Torkoal in the back. They could reverse Trick Room, I guess, but then it would give me a free switch into Scyther. I lean towards Follow Me, Rock Terra, Rock Slide. This covers for a bunch of different things, right? It covers for Ursaluna Protect, Dusclops like trying to reverse Trick Room. It covers for the self-brick break into weakness policy, if that's what they have. There's a big part of me that wanted to just go Helping Hand here. Because I think with Helping Hand, we probably KO Dusclops. Without it, I'm not sure we do. But here's the Terra. We go for Follow Me. Okay. Nice. Rock Slide doesn't miss. Connects onto both. Perfect. Ooh, almost one-shots Dusclops there. That's with a crit. Okay, so yeah. Figured we wouldn't get the knockdown. They do just go for Will-O-Wisp here, which I'll gladly take. Nice. What does Ursaluna opt for? Ooh, we actually get a flinch. Okay. Lucky turn. I'll take it. Rock Slide did... even with Helping Hand, I'm not confident on it KOing. Ursaluna could Protect here. Like, I could just Psychic here. But I lean towards just going for Follow Me Rock Slide again. I also think switching out into Torkoal is not a bad idea. Because then it conserves terrain control for me. So switch in Torkoal here. Body Slam. I'm down for that. Once we get Torkoal out, we know they have Rillaboom in the back. You know, Dusclops can burn me, but to be honest, even if they manage to burn me, it's still fine. If we did a little bit more to Ursaluna, I think I'd feel more confident with the Helping Hand play, but they are going to opt to protect here. Okay. Body Slam into them. They're just going to Nightshade us. Fine by me. Okay. We still have 2 turns of Trick Room left, so this should be a turn to get a double KO. I'm going to just Eruption here. Eruption plus Body Slam covers for any switch outs, and I don't risk missing, so I'm down for that. I actually think my opponent's best play would have been to reverse their own Trick Room. They may have been clicking Trick Room on turn 1 because 1, you're not sure how fast Snorlax is, and 2, you might be anticipating me clicking Trick Room. But with them setting it up for us, it put us into a really advantageous position. Nightshade, Will-O-Wisp, Trick Room on Dusclops. Not sure what the 4th move is. Yep, Ursa's going to pivot out here. But now that we've damaged it, Scyther is a perfect closer into it. They're just going to bring Rillaboom out here. Perfect. So we'll just get a double knockout this turn. And then Scyther can just close combat Ursaluna, which is awesome. Eruption here probably just gets the double KO, honestly. Yeah. The Body Slam there mainly is to cover for Como coming in. And honestly, the grassy terrain being able to heal up Snorlax right now is pretty awesome as well. So we get some recovery. I'm really curious what their final one is. I can pretty easily switch into... Like, one interesting play is switching in Scyther as Trick Room expires so that we have, like, a fast threat after Trick Room, right? Okay, it's going to be Ninetales here. Makes sense. Yeah, it's the last turn of Trick Room, so... I think I'm down to switch in Scyther right now. And go for Rock Slide. Personally, I expect them to protect both Pokemon, and if they protect both Pokemon, that's totally fine, because then what I can do is withdraw Snorlax into Torkoal, and just close combat into Ursaluna. Okay, it's going to be a Terra from their end. Could be Terra Ghost here on something. Terra on Ninetales into Ice. Okay. So they'll get a powerful Blizzard off here. I'm wondering if they're sashed. Vacuum Wave onto the Torkoal slot. But Snorlax does not miss Rock Slide. Perfect. Nice. And it just one-shots Ninetales. Okay, if they're making that play, I'm guessing they're choice specs on the Ninetales. It could have been a Vacuum Wave on a Snorlax, but I don't think that's KOing Snorlax anyway. So Snorlax was amazing for us in this game. Even with, you know, bulky Dusclops and an Ursaluna that resists Rock Slide. It was so fantastic. And now Scyther can just close out the game. Trick Room expires. I wonder if U-turn KOs. You can just U-turn Body Slam here. Nice. And it gets the KO. So it's interesting. It's Vacuum Wave Ursaluna with Protect. Normally you only see Vacuum Wave on the Assault SS because you want Hyper Voice, Blood Moon, Earth Power, and Protect. So I'm curious what move it dropped in order to fit Vacuum Wave onto that moveset. But yeah, in this game, I think one thing that Snorlax loves is going up against Pokemon that just don't threaten with a lot of damage, and Dusclops is like the perfect example of that, where it kind of just stays on the field and we can take advantage of it. The scariest turn in this game, in my opinion, was when Ursaluna protected and Dusclops went for Nightshade. It could have gone for Will-O-Wisp or Trick Room there, and Nightshade was definitely the best option for us because that damage actually ended up not being super relevant. And yeah, I think us getting the Torkoal and also put us into a really good spot because like Eruption plus Body Slam plus Rock Slide just like covers for anything basically, right? But that turn, if they had reversed Trick Room, I think things could have been a little bit tougher. And the game, I think, was easier from the beginning because my opponent actually clicked Trick Room on turn 1, so I didn't need to just like set it up immediately with Indeedee. I think the other approach I could have taken in this game was like just going for Body Slam onto Ursaluna at the turn that I went for Rock Slide. And if we just Body Slam and KO it, then like Snorlax is just in a really good spot, although I suppose they do get the free switch into Rillaboom. But then Torkoal just is so strong offensively into that end game as well. So really awesome game for Snorlax. Okay, we've got Ceruledge here, but with some interesting support. Gengar, Torkoal, Venu, Gambit, or Chaladon. First impression is Dual Wingbeat Scyther is pretty nice here, because it can KO Focus Sash, Gengar, or Venusaur. Close combat into Gambit as well as our Chaladon. We could Belly Drum up with Snorlax as well. Sleep Powder is something to respect from their end. I'm thinking Indeedee Snorlax lead, Scyther back. We do have Fighting Terra, Farigiraf, and it has Expanding Force, so this thing actually does damage in this matchup. Don't think I need the Lilligant. This is an interesting bring, honestly, because of Fighting Terra and Expanding Force. It just means if I'm bringing this, I'm probably committing to Terrying it. But I'm down. Especially because Ceruledge often, of course, is going to be a pretty big wall to the Torkoal. And I don't want to have a Pokemon that is just completely useless into Ceruledge. So let's see. I think I was considering leading Scyther here because it actually is just a Pokemon that applies a lot of pressure right from turn 1 of the battle. Let's see what they lead with. Gengar and Ceruledge. Okay. Fine by me. I really think here I can just go for Follow Me into Belly Drum turn 1. Follow Me, Belly Drum. And then just Rock Terra, Rock Slide the next turn. And Psychic or Trick Room depending on how turn 1 plays out. Because they might taunt me. Ceruledge isn't really that scary right now. Normally, it's a Pokemon that wants to bulk up, but they're actually just going to switch it out, so that's fine by me. What are they bringing in? King Gambit. Makes sense. Oh, that's a really cool play. How much does this do? Okay, not that much. Sludge Wave, though, is pretty scary. Now what? I have Rock Slide here with Custap. They can just Sludge Wave again, though. I'm low-key thinking about... Helping Hand? Body Press into... I'm sorry, Body Slam into this? I could also do this. Steel Terra. Trick Room, Protect. But then I can't Terra with the Farigiraf, and that feels bad. And I also waste the Custap Berry doing this, so I don't feel like this is the right play. But it was really tough because Snorlax took more damage than I would have liked. I didn't want to use my Terra this turn, but I also didn't want to lose too many resources. And I have Scyther still to deal with King Gambit in the back, right? So we'll Protect. It might just be Sludge Wave Kowtow Cleave, though, into the Indeedee slot, but I mean, that's still fine, right? Yep. There's Kowtow. Okay, and I survive. Nice. It worked, but now the question is, where do we go from here? I pressure with Psychic and Rock Slide right now, so that's the play I'm leaning towards. I think then the question is, for example, like, do we get a flinch onto the King Gambit? Because I don't know, like, part of me is like, maybe I should be prioritizing knocking out Gambit here. I could have gone Helping Hand Body Slam, but I'm thinking here they might Protect Or Switch Gambit. Oh, that's really good. Okay. Getting a free Rock Slide off with Snorlax at any point is amazing. Okay, bring Ceruledge out. Oh, man. We had a double knockout right in front of us there. That's unfortunate, but you're going to miss Rock Slide when you use this team. Oh, well, that is an unfortunate series of events. Because I think with the double knockout, like, you don't have terrain control. I can just Helping Hand Body Slam, get a third knockout, and then we're just, like, up 4v1. But instead, I missed the Ceruledge and Cursed Body activate, so I can't Rock Slide anymore. So Ceruledge completely walls Snorlax. Oh, okay. And knocking out Ceruledge would be so huge for us, because that's a pretty big problem Pokemon for Scyther in the back. So, very unlucky turn, but that's Pokemon. Just gotta keep our head in it. Because I think, like, Helping Hand Body Slam right now is still incredibly powerful, right? I can just Helping Hand Body Slam into King Gambit. That might still be enough for a KO. Yeah, Gambit does come back in. They don't know my full moveset here. I think I will go for the Helping Hand Body Slam play. Try to get rid of this. It's just such a shame because I found the Steel Terror play. It actually worked out really well. And they switched in. Oh, and they protect, yeah. Not much I could do about this. I could have protected Snorlax, I guess, to Scout. Oh, it's just a double protect, actually. Then it's fine. Yeah, if I still had Rock Slide online, it would have been really nice to go for. Last turn of Terrain, 2 turns of Trick Room. I think I'm just going to go for the Helping Hand play again. Yeah. It's just such a shame because King Gambit's not actually the threat, but because Cursed Body activated, I just can't hit Ceruledge. I also thought about Follow Me here, but I'm not sure we knock out the King Gambit. I'd rather guarantee a knockout onto that slot. They're tearing here. Is it Terra Ghost? Oh, man. Triple Ghost matchup where they Cursed Body me. That is unfortunate. I don't feel too bad about this one, though. I think we definitely had the tools to win, and we just had an insanely unlucky turn. And the fact we ran into Ghost Terra Gambit. Ghost Terra Gambit's actually been picking up as a Sneasler counter, so it was a nice double protect for my opponent to scout out for what I wanted to do. But now they'll just get a double KO. The upside is Farigiraf now does get Expanding Force, but, like, I haven't gotten any damage onto either of these, right? So, yeah. I just needed one of the Miss or Cursed Body to not happen. If, like, we just avoid one of those, I think we're in super good shape in this game, because I would have just knocked out... Like, we either knock out the Ceruledge, or I can just continue spamming Rock Slide. But with neither of those, it just became so tough. I do think we brought the right Pokemon, though. But maybe it should have been Fighting Terrain. Oh, actually, there's no more Terrain anymore, so I can't even Expanding Force as effectively, which feels really sad. I will protect. Expanding Force into you. But I think I'm just too far behind in this game. Like, I didn't get any damage off with Snorlax the last few turns. I'm trying to think how else I could have played better into this one. They went Gengar Ceruledge lead. Could have been Indeedee Farigiraf, I guess. Follow Me into Trick Room immediately. In retrospect, I actually don't hate Indeedee Farigiraf, because then the only thing that stops Expanding Force spam is King Gambit, but against King Gambit I can just Fighting Terra Blast it and catch my opponent off guard with that surprise, so... Oh, and even protect Ceruledge. Nicely done. Surprised they protected, honestly. That's a very good play. Could have been Expanding Force into the Gambit slot there, and now I'm probably getting hit by Kowtow on Farigiraf. Yeah. It almost just one-shots me. Even if I targeted the Gambit there with the double up, I think we still probably end up losing this one, because, like, once again, I just don't do enough damage. I don't have Helping Hand support, so Dual Wingbeat's not as effective, and these Pokemon are pretty bulky. I wonder what their last one was. Dual Wingbeat into Scarlet. Expanding Force into it. The logic behind targeting Scarlet was that so I can just finish it off ideally with Dual Wingbeat the subsequent turn. Oh, they actually switch out. Interesting. I don't think that switch was necessary, but it's Archaladon as their last one, so that makes sense. Yeah, then the game's definitely over. I actually do think if I were to replay this game, it's better to go Indeedee Farigiraf. But yeah, I think we would have been fine in this game if we didn't have that crazy turn against Gengar. Even with them being the Ghost Terra on King Gambit. Yeah. This game is just over at this point, so GG. Cool use of Gengar, though. Like, I think turn 1, I didn't think about Sledge Wave very much. I don't think it was actually too much of an issue, but the game plan coming into this match was to use Farigiraf and to Terra it, so that's why I think, like, I was forced to Terra Indeedee because I was caught in a pretty awkward spot. And if I had just led Indeedee Farigiraf, which now I realize I don't think my opponent actually has a ton of counterplay to, I would have had Expanding Force pressure against Gengar plus the Sour Ledge. They probably would have switched out into Gambit on turn 1, but if I Trick Room, Expanding Force, Gengar's down to Sash, and I can just fighting Terra Blast into Gambit. And if Gambit goes down, like Expanding Force just does so much, obviously, into Sour Ledge and the Gengar, and then we can fighting Terra Blast into the Archaladon as well. So, yeah. Yeah, we had that one unlucky turn, but I think I actually could have committed to a different game mode in this one that would have actually maybe been a little bit more effective, because I didn't actually get to play towards my main win condition in this game. We have Hyper Offense here with Indeedee, Armarouge, Whimsicott, Basculegion, Mousehold, and Sneasler. A lot of scary things here. Expanding Force spam from Indeedee, Imprison Trick Room. Lilligant Torkoal is interesting. If I'm them, I'm probably leading Indeedee. I could see them just going Indeedee Sneasler, honestly. Indeedee Sneasler. I would guess that they would Imprison turn 1 rather than Expanding Force. I'm thinking Indeedee Snorlax lead still. Although honestly, Scyther's offense is kind of cool here. Because I can just pressure with Dual Wingbeat. I might actually go Scyther, yeah. Scyther is the lead. It's not really that important to block priority. Scyther, Indeedee lead, Snorlax in the back. Torkoal is the 4th. Let's try this out. Basically, the logic behind Scyther is I pressure Dual Wingbeat immediately onto Sneasler. I also pressure U-turn onto Indeedee, close combat onto Mousehold. We've got Rocky Helmet here, so they decide to lead like Population Bomb Mousehold. That's something that Indeedee can take advantage of. And I think Snorlax just is kind of hard to get going, because with Indeedee Snorlax, normally you want to go for like Follow Me Trick Room here. But with them having Expanding Force on Indeedee, Snorlax is just going to take a ton of damage. And then Indeedee is normally going to be sashed as well, so it's not like I can just get the Belly Drum up and then just demolish Indeedee right away afterwards. So let's see what they lead with. Armarouge Mousehold, okay. Works for me. Population Bomb here means Mousehold will just KO itself. They'll probably want to just Expanding Force here. Follow Me. I'm thinking Steel Terra Follow Me. Getting Trick Room up would be great. This might just Heat Wave though is the problem, right? You could just Population Bomb Heat Wave. Okay, I'm a Dual Wingbeat Trick Room. Yep, they're gonna Pop Bomb us. So they're gonna Faint for Rocky Helmet here. Cool. Yeah, this is the perfect item to have for this Mousehold set. I'm wondering if it's Heat Wave or Expanding Force here. Okay, Household ends up fainting, so we'll take that trade. Scyther gets the Dual Wingbeat off. Really solid damage there. And it's going to be Armor Cannon. Nice. Into Scyther. So we successfully set up Trick Room. Beautiful. And Scyther faints, so that's as good as it gets because I get a free switch in. Nice. So a lot of our tools already coming out here as it's Life Orb on the Armor Rouge as well. Okay. Snorlax now in a position to threaten the Belly Drum. We know it is not weak armor on Armor Rouge, it's Flash Fire, so Torkoal's not a strong bring right now. We want to ideally eliminate Armor Rouge first, and then bring out Torkoal. Snorlax comes out. Let's see. Okay, they bring out their Indeedee. So their Indeedee right now could definitely reverse Trick Room. I wouldn't be shocked by that, honestly. I am personally down to go for Belly Drum here. I really think Armor Rouge should be protecting here. The question is whether or not this is an aggressive Belly Drum, because I could just attack this turn. Rock Terra. Helping Hand Rock Slide. But honestly, I lean towards Belly Drum here. Psychic into Indeedee. Okay, Armor Rouge switches, that's fine. They switch into Sneasler, yep. Which activates the Psychic Seed. We'll set up Belly Drum. Yeah, looks like they're trying to reverse my Trick Room, which makes a lot of sense. But now with the Custap Berry, Snorlax is on... Oh, they're just slower. Okay, wait, that makes sense. Sorry, they're slower because, of course, Trick Room is set up. But Expanding Force, we end up surviving there. I was confused for a second, but... now I can just go for... Rock Terra, Rock Slide. Follow me. With them not reversing Trick Room... yeah, even without Custap Berry, I think Snorlax is in a really good spot. I was mainly worried that Expanding Force there would actually KO us. And I think here Sneasler probably wants to, honestly, Terra to get around Psychic just KOing. I also could have just gone Psychic into Sneasler, Body Slam into the Indeedee, but a lot of the times the Sneaslers on these teams are going to be Dark Terra. So I want to cover for that. So Custap activates. We're going to Terra. And Sneasler's not going to have a spread move most of the time, right? So Rock Slide's not going to KO the Sneasler, but that's fine. Because they won't KO us in return. And then once I get Torkoal, I can just Weather Ball, Body Slam, Armor Rouge, and Sneasler. Okay, we'll go for Follow Me here. It looks like they are not going to Terra in the end. Rock Slide double connects. The main risk in this play is that I could have missed, right? That almost one-shot Sneasler. Oh my goodness. Crits the Indeedee, but that definitely KOs. And then now Sneasler just faints from Rocky Helmet. So the Rocky Helmet on Indeedee was absolutely huge for us in this game. Oh, they actually end up flinching. Okay, Armor Rouge comes back out. I actually would have preferred them to just not flinch there, knock out the Indeedee so I get the free switch-ins, but it's fine. I'm down to just go for Body Slam here into Armor Rouge and Follow Me. Yeah, I was expecting them to reverse Trick Room with the Indeedee, because normally you run Trick Room and Imprison. Okay, they just double protect, stall to turn to Trick Room. That's fine. We've seen Protect, Armor Cannon. You're definitely running Expanding Force. Wide Guard as the fourth move would make some sense. And because we have Rocky Helmet, like, I think I'm still fine making the same play here. Their play might honestly be to just double protect with both Pokemon, though. Like, they still haven't Terra'd. I would definitely be double protecting right now with both. Okay, I'm actually down to Psychic and Body Press now. Yeah, Armor Rouge does get the double off. Okay. As does Sneasler. They get 2 double protects off on the same turn. What? Man, Sneasler flinching actually cost me in this one, because if they didn't flinch Rocky Helmet... I mean, I can still just follow me this next turn, right? I'm probably just going to follow me Protect. Terrain disappears, which is obviously good. I can't believe that, though. I can't remember the last time I've seen a double Protect like that. This is also an interesting spot now. I'm also protecting with Snorlax here, by the way, because the hope is that Sneasler knocks out Indeedee. I trade Indeedee for Sneasler, Torkoal comes out, and then Body Slam and Weather Ball just both respectively KO'd the Armarouge. But yeah. If we just get one of the knockouts that turn, and they fail one of the 2 protects, we should just win on the spot. Now the game is more interesting. Snorlax protects. We go for Follow Me. They're not going to go for another Protect with Sneasler. Cool. They can just go for Throat Chop. So what I was thinking in this position is you actually go for a Protect intentionally with Sneasler just to avoid getting KO'd by Rocky Helmet. Which would be really fascinating. Because the expectation from your end is for me to Protect, right? And Expanding Force just comes out. Yep. And now we just have 2v1 into a weakened Armarouge. They have Life Orb, so they'll take Life Orb damage, and I can just click the... Oh, I guess I can't click Eruption or Weather Ball, because they're going to be... Yeah, I have to clear Smog, huh? I think we should always just go for the double Protect here. Yeah. They're going to commit Terra here. Wait, what are you Terraing into? Psychic? Clear Smog is super effective now. I mean, they're not weak armor, right? I've clicked Dual Wingbeat into that. So, I don't think there's any reason to Terra there, honestly. Oh, unless you're worried about Earth Power. Never mind. Yeah, that's fair. But now Clear Smog is going to deal super effective damage and might just get the KO, whereas without the Terra, it definitely wasn't going to get the knockout, I think. But yeah, that was definitely to cover for Earth Power, which makes sense. Yeah, we just KO'd them now. I think even if we didn't KO them, the question then is, does, like, if I get the double Protect off since they targeted Snorlax and I get the Clear Smog off, then with Life Orb and another Clear Smog, I should be fine. And then the question is, does a single Expanding Force from the Armarouge knock out the Torkoal, right? They're not the Power Herb set, so that's not something we have to worry about. But I am curious about that calc, so let's take a look. Yeah, I think we were fine in that endgame, even if they didn't Grass Terra. Clear Smog is doing 18 to 22%, and you have to factor in Life Orb damage as well. So if we get 2 Clear Smogs off, that's 36% minimum plus Life Orb damage, which is another 10%. So 2 Clear Smogs plus Life Orb always knocks out Armarouge, so even if they didn't Grass Terra, I think we would have won that one, as long as they don't crit the Expanding Force. The single target Expanding Force here, with no Psychic Terrain, does, as you can see, a maximum of 84% from modest Life Orb Armarouge, and so unless they got the crit here, then we would have been fine. And then I threw in the Protect on Snorlax there because I figured, okay, if I get the double and you target into it, I just win the game on the spot. And if you end up targeting Torkoal, it's still fine because you're not knocking out Torkoal. And then the next turn, I have 2 moves that can just knock you out, right? So Grass Terra just accelerated things a little bit. But yeah, fortunately with Clear Smog, like as you see here, 18 to 22% is still a decent range. And we just needed around 40-ish% on the Armarouge to win that game. We've got Charizard Torkoal, which is cool. Ursaluna Meowstic, which is cooler. Decidueye. And is that? Yeah, it's a female Basket Legion, right? I actually can't remember the last time I fought against this. Alright, I'm intrigued. Charizard is pretty spooky. Because, like, normally with this team, you want to consider leading something like Indeedee plus Snorlax. But actually, with Indeedee Snorlax, we can just Rock Terra. So I'm still down for this. Lilligant in the back because they have Sun. We can take advantage of it. And then for the last one, our own Torkoal is interesting if I get Trick Room up with this. But I'm not sure I actually want to set up Trick Room. I'm kind of down for Scyther here, honestly. Like, we have close combat pressure into Ursaluna, Dual Wingbeat into Decidueye. I think, like, with this team, normally with Scyther, you actually want to lead it, so you can go for, like, U-turn plays. But I think its damage is just pretty solid here. I don't think I need to really bypass too much priority from their end. It's mainly Meowstic that's the wild card, in my opinion. And then back Torkoal is okay, but into, like, dual weather or dual fire types on their end, plus a water type, I don't actually think it's the strongest option. So let's see. Alright, it's going to be Meowstic Basket Legion. Interesting. Don't fully know what to expect here on turn 1. I'm leaning towards going for a safe follow me, though, into Belly Drum. Meowstic, when I see it, I normally would expect screens, like Clay. Has access to Fake Out, but with Psychic Terrain up, you're not going to be able to accomplish much with that. And once we get Belly Drum off, I think Rock Terra Rock Slide really crushes it here. So, okay, it's going to be a Terra coming out. Terra on the Basket Legion, presumably, for offense. Terra Ice. Okay, well, that's weak to Rock Slide. Go for Follow Me here. Is this like Gravity? Nope. Blizzard comes out. We dodge it on the Snorlax. Wonder how much I would have done. And they're going to click Trick Room with the Meowstic, expecting us to Trick Room on turn 1. Okay, that works for me. We've got the Custap Berry now. So with Custap, I think I'm down to just send it here. This could be Focus Sash, so I think I want to just go for Psychic into you. Rock Terra, Rock Slide. Terra Ice Blizzard was not what I was expecting, though, that's for sure. It has to be Gravity on Meowstic, right? That would make a lot of sense if you're running Blizzard. Otherwise, Blizzard is just so inconsistent. But we're going to Terra now. Yep, there's Gravity. Okay. But yeah, we have the Custap activation. Now I don't even have to worry about missing Rock Terra Rock Slide here. Gets the knockout. And the Meowstic, as you see, did actually end up hanging on, which is why I wanted to go for Psychic and Slot Slot. I figured it might be sashed or it might just be bulky enough to hang on from the turn. Nice. What's in the backlet scares me under Trick Room? Probably the Torkoal, but Torkoal's Eruption into Snorlax isn't that much of an issue. I think the next turn I can just go for something like Follow Me into Rock Slide. It is Ursaluna, so maybe we want to go for... Yeah, Ursaluna plus Torkoal. Okay. I've got Scyther in the back, which is only good after Trick Room. After Trick Room, it'll be able to beat this pretty easily. Gravity is up. Neither of these are actually very good under Trick Room, so that's one thing to keep in mind. I can protect Snorlax this turn to scout out for Protect on their end. Clear Smog is something we want to respect, though, as well. But since they've Terra'd already, I lean towards going for Follow Me here, and then Body Slam into Ursaluna. Follow Me here just covers for Clear Smog or Earth Power, and if it's an Eruption, Snorlax should survive the turn. Yep, they just go for Eruption. Okay. Yep, and we do survive. Nice. So Indeedee faints. That's fine. We get the Body Slam off into the Ursaluna, and that's a one-hit knockout. Beautiful. I wanted to click Rock Slide there, but I think we have to respect the option of Torkoal protecting and then Ursaluna just going for like Headlong Rush, for example. I can now bring out the Hisuian Lilligant, and I can just double protect this turn. And then I think Hisuian Lilligant plus Scyther should have enough offense to end the game for us. Still 2 turns of Trick Room left. Oh, I don't have Protect actually on Lilligant, so yeah, I'll just have to attack here this turn, which is fine. We can just go for Close Combat. I could also Sleep Powder here, but if I miss Sleep Powder, I think Torkoal could actually win the game, which is a little bit scary. Protect Snorlax, close combat. This turn, yeah. Oh, they actually end up forfeiting. The game wasn't 100% over yet, in my opinion. But basically, like, with close combat, I just do a ton of damage, right? And then, based on how much damage I did to Torkoal, I could either, like, switch Snorlax out into Scyther, sack both Pokemon, and then just use Snorlax to get a Body Slam or Rock Slide into the Torkoal in the end game. Or just give up both Pokemon, bring out Scyther, and then click close combat as well, right? Or Dual Wingbeat, for example, into Torkoal. The main thing is I, did not want to rely on moves that were inaccurate in that end game, so trying to find, like, only using moves that are 100% accurate was, like, what I was thinking about. But Torkoal, I think, the game wasn't 100% over yet there, and actually may have had the potential to win still, but I think we had enough damage with just 2 really powerful attacks from Lilligant plus the Scyther to close it out. Dozo, Tatsu, Meowscarada, Flamigo, Corviknight, and Ninetales. Interesting. They can only have Sash on one Pokemon here. We're definitely bringing Torkoal, Lilligant. Scyther's pretty sweet with Dual Wingbeat here. I think this is probably similar to the other Dozo game. Yeah, like Indeedee, Scyther, Torkoal, Lilligant. Use Scyther in the early game to apply damage to most of their team. Indeedee to pressure Trick Room, Torkoal to get rid of Dondozo's boosts. Torkoal's also incredible offensively into the bottom 4 Pokemon. And Snorlax, once again, not that incredible in this matchup. There's threat of close combat from Flamigo, threat of knockoff from Meowscarada, threat of Iron Defense, Corviknight. Corviknight we just can't hit for very much to begin with, right? Other than a +6 Rock Slide. But we'd have to get there. And then Unaware Dondozo just makes the setup Snorlax so much less effective. So, let's see what they go with. Ninetales, Meowscarada, very interesting. Okay. Man, Lilligant Torkoal lead would have actually completely demolished this, I think. What do I want to do? I'm happy to switch in Torkoal, I think, turn 1. Switch in Torkoal. Get rid of Meowscarada. You could knock off. Getting rid of Charcoal isn't the end of the world. Maybe it would have been better to just target Ninetales. I'm honestly really surprised they led Ninetales. And I'm actually now thinking Torkoal Lilligant would not have been a bad lead from my end. Because if they lead Ninetales, I super punish them, and even if they don't lead Ninetales, it's fine. They have to switch it on turn 1. They risk like an Eruption. But it's just going to be Flower Trick coming out, which is fine. Torkoal tanks that. Yep. Oh, they actually double up on Torkoal. Nice. Cool. And we get Dual Wingbeat off, so just KOs Meowscarada through a potential Sash, which is great. Yeah, I think a lot of players fear Trick Room when they see this team, and so they very much aggressively double up onto Indeedee. Meowscarada faints. Now you probably bring out Dondozo. Yep. Now it's the dancing game of, do you switch into the Tatsu? I'm going to switch Torkoal out into Indeedee because I think it's important to conserve that clear smog. Let's bring Indeedee back in. This time I would expect to switch it into Lilligant. Or sorry, into Tatsu. But they might just be content freeze drying, honestly, into my Scyther. Okay, I'm still gonna target Ninetales. Yeah, they do make the switch here. That's okay. The big question I have is what kind of Terra Dondozo has. There's a decent chance it's Steel Terra, Order Up, Body Press. But Lilligant with Sleep Powder would be very effective into that. So we'll switch Indeedee in. Ooh, Dozo's slower, yeah. They're gonna Order Up into us, okay. So not a lot of damage. Also, they risk just getting Clear Smog that turn. With that, I'm down to Trick Room here. The main thing is I want to Trick Room and get Torkoal in, but I really don't want to switch this in and then have it faint. So we have to be careful about that. So I'm down to Trick Room here and Dual Wingbeat. And I'm clicking Dual Wingbeat specifically because of this. Yeah, the potential chance to crit. Okay. So we're going to Order Up into Indeedee now. As you can tell, it's a very defensive Dondozo, right? So I get Trick Room up. The main question is, are you... No leftovers either. This could be safety goggles. Steel Terra. I want to go for... Psychic. 2 turns of Sun and Terrain. Psychic and U-turn here. It's Protect. So Protect, Order Up makes sense so far. Not a major surprise. I think this turn could have been a Follow Me and switch into Torkoal, but I really don't want to like have them Earthquake me. It's just so important to get that Clear Smog off. Yeah, so Psychic U-turn once more. I'm really curious on Dondozo's item. It doesn't have the leftover, so I think it's Steel Terra Safety Goggles with Body Press or Heavy Slam. I mean, it should be Body Press given that it's this plus defense set, right? But then what it hinges off is with Torkoal, do I Clear Smog or do I read into you going for Steel Terra and go for Weather Ball? Honestly, good damage from Psychic. And there's the Body Press, okay. And you eat up Rocky Helmet damage. So, I mean, Dozo's eating up a lot of damage through all this, honestly. You turn out. I'm gonna bring out the Torkoal. Do I want to do that, actually? I mean, Trick Room is still up. It's just that Weather is expiring, too. If I bring out Lilligant, I can have Lilligant's Scyther out. They're just so boosted in terms of defense. Okay, I'll bring Torkoal. Sunlight fades, but I actually think this could work in my favor. Okay, hold on. Because now I can bring out Lilligant. I don't know the Terra or the item on this, and that's what makes this turn tricky. There's still 2 turns of Trick Room, so like Clear Smog is what I want to go for here. But the fear is obviously that they are just Steel Terra, and they Steel Terra in front of us. My guess is that it is Steel Terra. I'm taking a risk here. I'm going for Fire Terror Eruption. Just calling out that I think they're going to Steel Terra this turn. Or Protect this turn. Because I'm thinking if I do this and they Protect Dondozo this turn, then I can Clear Smog them next turn because they might get baited into thinking I don't actually have Clear Smog by going for this. Oh, that did not work. Does body press KO us? It does. Okay, now the moment of truth then is, are you safety goggles as well? They're not goggles, and they didn't Terra there. I'm honestly a little bit shocked. Huh. It's so interesting. It's the last turn of Trick Room. Oh, we're the exact same speed. You should actually always stagger things by 1 HP so you know what will attack first. Because basically I have a double knockout here if I were to attack first with the Lilligant. Leaf Blade into you. Wait, actually, if I intentionally don't pick up a KO... Leaf Blade, Dual Wingbeat. So Dozo takes a turn of sleep. Okay, we end up attacking first with Lilligant. Nice. I think Dual Wingbeat should just KO Tatsu. Yeah. Okay, so then it's Ninetales in the end game. I think I just go Sleep Powder Protect. They just didn't Terra this whole game. Like, what is the Terra on the Dondozo? And the item, if it wasn't safety goggles or leftovers. Really curious. But I think the game boils down to whether or not I hit Sleep Powder here. Yeah, because 5 turns of snow. I'll just click this. Protect. We have 2 Pokemon that are weak to ice, so this is spooky. Scyther protects. Oh, they click Freeze Dry instead of Blizzard. That gives me more outs. Okay. And we hit Sleep Powder. Nice. Surprised they didn't go for Blizzard there. I think with this we should definitely win. What? Well, that's a first. Lumberry Ninetales. Okay. I'm gonna Sleep Powder again. Dual Wingbeat. They just Freeze Dry again. So with Focus Sash, they'll still need multiple hits. That doesn't even KO us. That's so weak. Did they not have Blizzard? Because Blizzard is stronger than Freeze Dry despite it being a spread move. We're lucky that we hit multiple Sleep Powders here. Wow, I can't believe that didn't even KO Scyther. Lumberry Ninetales is nuts. I have never seen that before. And Dual Wingbeat also just does so much damage there. So we can just Leaf Blade. Close combat now. Actually, it's better to close combat here. A Ninetales without Blizzard would be insane to me. So I'm like, but it could be Aurora Veil, Freeze Dry, Icy Wind, Protect. And the idea is that you like are never clicking Blizzard because it's mainly meant to set up screens for Dondozo, is my guess. But the fact that Freeze Dry didn't even KO the Scyther is nuts. And we win this one, but yeah, I think like best of 1 ladder Dondozo was really scary because yeah, like they didn't Terra in this game, right? So I really was expecting Steel Terra on Dondozo that turn. Fortunately, like the worst case scenario would have been them not Terraing and then also being safety goggles, and I was a little bit nervous about that. But Lilligant was clutch. Like, you know, one of the upsides of Sleep Powder is it can't just bail you out of tough situations. But yeah, was really, really shocked to not see a Terra at all, and then also the Lumberry and Ninetales. Like, definitely some surprises here. Anyway, that's going to be it for this one, so I hope you enjoyed this really fun team featuring both Snorlax and Scyther. Really cool to be able to make them work in this format, and I think we got to showcase some awesome games around them as well. So, huge thank you to Ryota as always for building and sharing these teams. Thanks to you all as always for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Alright, peace.